Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We're going to be here in week 33 of the weekly challenges, and it's time for Suzuka on board the Honda VFR750R RC30 RM. So here we are in the aforementioned track here in Suzuka, and we're going to give you a guide on how to tackle this track with the Honda to make sure you can get the gold time of this 33rd weekly challenge here in Ride 4. So across the line, and we will begin our first lap here today. So first and foremost, going into the first corner, you want to be keeping an eye on the left hand side here. As you see the braking markers come towards you, 50 metres, 100 metres, you want to go roughly around 75 metres going into the first corner. This first lap is going to be a very basic lap where I'm just going to be riding normally. Then the second and third lap we will be pushing for much quicker lap times. So it's very important that you're positioning on the track around Snake, i.e. turn 3, 4, 5 and 6, are positioned well. You need to be following that really thick, deep tarmac line. As you can see, a lot of rubber has been placed down on that line because that is the optimal line for here in Suzuka. So same can be said here for the left-hand side for Dunlop Curve. Be very careful of a bump in the road. That right there, you've seen it just a moment ago. The little bit of a bump on that corner can make you crash very, very easily. So be very, very aware of that particular corner. Don't tuck in that corner as well. If you tuck in while that bump occurs, the chances are you'll push too much pressure on the front and the bike will spin around, so be very careful going into that corner just before the Degner curve of turn 8. So after the hairpin has been navigated, you want to keep an eye on to here because this is going to be a tough corner to get right. Brake when you get roughly alongside the barriers on the right hand side. I'll be giving you more information on the next lap in just a moment's time, but of course so many corners to discuss here in Suzuka, it's difficult to mention it all at once. Brake here before you get well and close to the green part of that rumble strip on the right hand side of your screen there. Just going into that corner, you want to position the bike straight and brake there parallel to that corner, then chuck it into the left hand side just before the spoon curve. Now full acceleration underneath the Yoshimura sign and full underneath the Brembo sign as well. Keep going as fast as you possibly can. Look to the signs on your right hand side there, 100 metres, 50 metres, roughly go around 60 to 75 metres on the brakes there. You don't have to brake too abruptly, just be gentle and smooth going into the left-hander. Now into the Casio triangle, I'm going to give you exactly where to brake on that particular corner on the next lap because it's imperative that you get that right because you don't want to do all this effort to go into the lap, have a good lap going, and then to lose it all into the Casio triangle. So the first lap is more than good enough for gold time. There's a 2:07.901. So going into the first corner, braking side to your left hand side there, 100 metres, roughly chucking it in now to the right hand side, holding it into the first corner for turn 2, and then holding it into the right hand side, continuing to hold it, and we now stick like glue on this particular dark line on the track. You can see it there all the time, sticking with that line, using it as a guide as we then go into the left-hander for Snake for turn 5. A little bit of a braking zone here. Trail braking is where I would say is the key in those particular corners. Be very smooth in the acceleration and be smooth with the analog stick as well, and you will be absolutely fine. So keep an eye on the left-hand side here. See the dip, that little dip there, that little bump? Do not tuck in that particular part. Degner curve, brake around 75 metres before the corner, and now you can go into the right-hander as well. Begin to brake as you feel the bike getting up to speed again, so you can tackle the corner just before the bridge. Now onto the right-hand side we'll go for this hairpin. Once you get to that rumble strip on the right-hand side there, so as you turn the bike onto the right-hand side, begin to brake slowly, gently and controlled. See the barriers on the right-hand side, the Yoshimura signs? When you see that barrier end on the right-hand side, that's when you can then begin to brake for the 200R corner. That chicane is vital to get right, because if you mess that up, forget it, your lap's over. Now onto the right-hand side, get the bike straight. See how the bike is becoming up and it's getting upright and it's sitting in a upright position with it all being parallel. Begin to brake then. If you brake on an angle, the chances are you're probably going to end up getting out of shape, the tyres will start slipping, and you'll end up either crashing or just going completely wide before the corner into spoon curve. Now pay attention once again to the braking markers on your right hand side of your screen, 200 metres, 100 metres, bring it in, turn to the left hand side. We're going to run it a little bit deep here, but it's quite okay, going very, very close to the rumble strip, and unfortunately we did actually hit the invalidation lap, but as you've seen where that rumble strip ends, that's where I begun to brake. So it's vitally important that you keep an eye on the rumble strips. It might be a lot for new beginners to think about all these things to look at and to focus on, but when you're riding you do see it quite a lot in your peripheral vision. So as you'll see it on the right hand side there, you will notice that that is where you're going to be starting to brake. Same thing again for turn 1, moving into the right hand side, roughly about 80 metres, 75 metres. You can go a little bit later if you want to go harder on the brakes, but for me, I like going in there quite early and controlled on the acceleration rather than just wrenching on the brakes in the last second. Now, something to mention, I am using the hard front and the hard rear, but the tyres are completely optional to use whatever you want, so you can either use the soft, medium, or hard, which I'm using here today. I like the harder option because I feel like I've got a bit more feeling on the front end, but you might choose the soft, but it's entirely up to you. Now into the Dunlop Curve, mentioned earlier, please pay attention to this bump right here in the middle of the track. You're going to see every time the bike is just going to just dip a little bit, and it's enough to just cause a little bit of a slide. Degner Curve can be pretty tough. Use a lot of rear brake if you have to. If you've got the skill to use the rear brake to slide it in, go for it. If you haven't, stick to what I said on the previous lap. Just focus on the braking and being gentle on the brakes. Same can be said here for turn 10 and then into turn 11 for the hairpin. Yes, I am pushing a little bit quicker on this lap because I want to improve my lap time, but as far as the actual guide goes, lap 1 is more than enough to be capable of getting you that gold particular medal. And the gold medal, of course, equals more prizes, more points, more credits for you to buy more bikes with. Makes sense, right? So now on the right hand side, get onto the left hand side now for Spoon Curve. You've seen that braking marker again. Pay attention to the bottom right corner of your screen as well. That is a guide that those gauges for the acceleration and braking are there to help you. So you can use them as much as you like. You can use them following my video, or you can use them even looking at your own to understand how much acceleration is necessary for certain corners. And now coming up to the difficult part of the track once again, 100 meter zone, begin to bring it into the left hand side, up by a second already for the 130R. Pay attention to either the rumble strip on your right hand side there, or onto the left hand side here for the braking markers. Once you see those braking markers, once you see the rumble strip, begin to slow down, or at least prepare yourself for a good, solid braking marker. But upon that note, guys, that's going to be it for me in the sense of Suzuka. That is going to be it for the time trials. So let's have a look at my results and see how we got on and compare them to each and every lap. So those on screen right now, guys, are my 3 lap times here in the Suzuka circuit, the motorcycle GP circuit, of course. And the third sector is the only one we didn't improve on upon our individual laps. Now, I would say if you can get anything close to the first lap time, or even just very, very close to the 2:15, you're going to be absolutely fine to find a few more tenths. Well, that is going to be it from me, guys. That is it on the leaderboards. Third place, I'll take that. Third place in 3 laps, I'll definitely take that. So I hope this has helped, guys. If it has, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always keen to know if it actually helps or not. And of course, if you really enjoyed the video, why not consider hitting that like button and even hitting that subscribe button as well. We're on the journey for more subscribers and I would love to have you on board. So upon that note, guys, thanks for watching as always. It's been a pleasure and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.